Welcome to a journey into the world where simplicity meets sophistication. In this video, we explore the stunning discipline of luxe minimalist architecture, a movement that marries high-end finishes with a sense of calm, clarity, and refined restraint. Forget clutter and ornamentation. This is about elegance in essentials, style in subtraction, and richness in restraint. Once considered austere or cold, minimalism has evolved into a luxurious expression of architectural mastery. Luxe minimalism is about more than just white walls and clean lines. It's a philosophy that centers on intentionality, precision, and serenity, with an emphasis on premium materials and craftsmanship. The ethos behind luxe minimalism stems from the belief that quality outweighs quantity. Every architectural element is carefully curated to serve a purpose: no excess, no noise. This philosophy, rooted in Zen and Bauhaus principles, guides architects toward creating spaces that feel both indulgent and introspective. In luxe minimalist architecture, materials are chosen not to decorate, but to define. Think warm oak, cool concrete, honed marble, and brushed brass. These elements are celebrated in their natural form, allowing their textures, tones, and tactility to serve as the visual language of the home. Negative space plays a critical role in this architectural style. Walls, floors, and open areas are not just voids, they're deliberate compositions. This careful balance between presence and absence transforms space into a powerful expression of silence and focus. In minimalist luxury design, proportion is everything. The height of a ceiling, the width of a corridor, and the scale of a window are all meticulously calculated. These elements create harmony and rhythm, guiding the eye and evoking a sense of architectural poetry. While luxe minimalism may appear simple, its execution is anything but. Achieving such clarity of form requires complex structural planning, seamless integration of systems, and unparalleled precision. The beauty lies in making the difficult look effortless. One of the hallmarks of this style is how fluidly spaces connect. Open-plan layouts, disappearing doors, and continuous flooring materials allow rooms to flow naturally. This uninterrupted spatial experience enhances both comfort and elegance. Luxe Minimalist design elevates routine life by turning mundane moments into mindful rituals. Whether it's the tactile pleasure of a smooth countertop or the gentle filtering of light through linen drapes, every detail is designed to create a heightened sensory experience. Natural light is perhaps the most important material in luxe minimalism. Architects manipulate it through large panes of glass, clerestory windows, and strategically placed skylights. The interplay of light and shadow adds depth and warmth without relying on decorative features. Neutral color palettes dominate luxe minimalist spaces: ivories, charcoals, taupes, and greys. This monochromatic base doesn't lack personality, rather, it amplifies the beauty of texture, contrast, and materiality, letting subtleties shine through. In these homes, furniture is more than utilitarian, it's sculptural. A dining table becomes a slab of art. A sofa, an architectural gesture. With fewer pieces in the room, each one must be exquisite in form, proportion, and purpose. Minimalist luxury thrives on visual clarity, which means clever storage is essential. Hidden cabinets, integrated closets, and multifunctional furniture keep personal items out of sight, ensuring the aesthetic remains clean and uninterrupted. Minimalist kitchens don't shout, they whisper elegance. Handleless cabinetry, integrated appliances, and sleek countertops create an atmosphere of sophistication. Even cooking becomes an elevated act, framed by precision and grace. Bathrooms in luxe minimalist homes resemble sanctuaries. Think seamless stone sinks, frameless mirrors, and recessed lighting. The goal is to strip away the chaos and offer a spa-like retreat, quiet, clean, and contemplative. Minimalist luxury bedrooms are all about rest and recharge. Without clutter or bold patterns, they rely on tactile bedding, soft lighting, and warm wood tones. These serene spaces promote deep sleep and a sense of grounded calm. In a refined minimalist space, art and accents are curated with precision. A single large-scale artwork, a sculptural vase, or an antique bench might be the only decorative piece in a room, chosen not to fill space, but to define it. Luxe minimalist homes often blur the line between interior and exterior. Sliding glass doors, covered terraces, and reflective pools extend the living space and connect the resident with nature, grounding the experience in place and season. Sound is another often overlooked element of minimalism. High-quality materials reduce echo, while layouts are designed for acoustic comfort. This creates spaces that feel not just visually calm, but sonically soothing too. In Luxe minimalist design, technology is never the focal point. It's concealed, automated blinds, integrated speakers, hidden HVAC systems. Smart home features are present, but invisible, ensuring the architecture remains pure and uninterrupted. Void space isn't empty, it's intentional. It creates breathing room, encourages mindfulness, and offers the eye a place to rest. These pauses in design help pace the architecture, much like silence enhances a symphony. Even the entrance of a minimalist luxury home speaks volumes. A single pivot door, a gravel path, or a shadow-casting overhang creates anticipation. These spaces signal the transition from chaos to calm, outside to in. Minimalist architecture naturally lends itself to sustainability. Fewer materials, efficient layouts, and long-lasting construction reduce waste. Luxe minimalism also values quality over trend, fostering homes that endure in both style and structure. Luxe minimalism draws inspiration from around the globe: Japanese wabi-sabi, Scandinavian hygge, and Italian rationalism. These diverse cultural philosophies converge to create spaces that are universal in beauty and local in soul. Architects like John Pawson, Tadao Ando, and Claudio Silvestrin have championed the art of refined restraint. Their works continue to influence today's designers, reminding us that minimalism, when executed with precision, can be profoundly luxurious. Despite its popularity, this style remains one of the hardest to execute. Every joint, every seam, every transition must be perfect. Any error becomes visible. This level of discipline requires not only great design, but great craftsmanship. Clients drawn to this style often undergo a philosophical shift. It's no longer about impressing guests or maximizing square footage. It's about finding peace, clarity, and meaning in one's surroundings, values that go beyond trends. Even the outdoors reflect the same restraint. Zen gardens, linear pools, and sculpted hedges create a refined landscape. Every plant, stone, and shadow is considered part of the architecture, extending the home's calm character. Whether in a bustling city or a remote hillside, Luxe minimalist architecture adapts beautifully. In cities, it offers sanctuary. In rural settings, it harmonizes with the environment. The principles remain the same: clarity, quality, and calm. More than a visual aesthetic, Luxe minimalism is an emotional experience. It encourages mindfulness, reduces stress, and fosters presence. Living in such a space isn't just about what you see, it's about how you feel. Luxe minimalist architecture proves that restraint can be powerful, and simplicity can be rich. It's a celebration of clarity, a mastery of materials, and a dedication to quality. In a world full of excess, these homes offer a quiet revolution, where living well means living lightly, yet luxuriously.